Hello, beautiful, blessed family. I wanted to speak to you about. I was supposed to do this a long time ago, and I'm kind of glad I paused on it because since the election, a lot of stuff has gone down, and I'm sure you are all getting a lot of updates or information about things that you didn't know was true before. Anyway, so I wanted to talk to you about witchcraft, not necessarily in the church, but witchcraft overall. I've been led, and I know we're not supposed to be watching this as born again believers, but I've been led to be watching Maleficent. Maleficent, I'm not saying you should watch this by any means, but I do have Instagram, and my curiosity got to me because I always wanted to know what Angelina Jolie was doing. Hi, yes, Erica, good to see you. What Angelina Jolie was doing in this movie that people were so enamored with her, that they would dress up with her, dress their kids up like her in at Halloween. Shalom. Yes, you know what? That woman might be a witch, but a lot of them in Hollywood are that people idolize and worship. So that could be a whole different discussion. But I was watching it, I was saying, every time I mention magic, people, especially Christians, they cringe. They don't want. I'm not too sure why. Shalom. I'm not too sure why they cringe, but my experience with God has not been passed down. My experience with God is a born again experience. So my notions and understandings about Christianity are different than a lot of people's. And if you have been put through what I've been put through, which means you probably are a chosen vessel, you understand what I'm saying. So basically, okay, God's been revealing certain things to me through, he's always done this. So I love to read and also to listen to documentaries. Even if it's medicine, I like to hear what doctors have to say because I do have a background of medicine. And when I was in nursing, I learned a lot and I did well, and psychology as well. So I was watching this video about this guy. It's a guy, a really muscular black guy, was showering outside. He must have been at a park, a water park, or a pool or something. And after he was done, he was washing his hair and having a shower. And I guess one of his friends or some guy was putting a prank on him. So this guy was above the shower. Somehow there must have been an elevation somehow behind the shower, where he could squirt shampoo in the guy's hair. Squirt shampoo in the guy's hair. So the guy put shampoo in his hair. And then when he's finished soaping up, he's rinsing it out. As he's rinsing it out, the guy's pouring shampoo. So he's wondering, what is going on? Why am I washing this shampoo out and it's still setting up? He must have did it, I want to say, it felt like 15 times. I don't know. All I know, yes, I think the guy felt like the shampoo was some miraculous shampoo that never ending suds. And I must have watched that video. I watched it before, and then I watched it this last time again, and I think I must have watched it about 15 times because his response was just so hilarious. Okay, so I watched that, and I'm always wondering, whatever time, nothing you do by chance, nothing you've encountered is by chance, and I'm wondering, what is God trying to show me with this? Okay, so, my notion and what I understand about being sick is that being sick is not just being sick. We don't just go into the cold and just catch a cold. And there's some countries that are cold all the time. In the north, there's populations living in the north, like really far north. And they dress warm and they don't get sick. You don't see them walking around always getting medicine. Okay? One thing I will say about them is they eat natural. They eat off the land, or they eat fish or whatever else. Whatever it is they eat is not fast food. It's not been passed through many hands before it gets to their table or gets to their mouth. And that should open your eyes to something, the point I'm trying to make. Now, as you can hear, my voice is very raspy. So if I start to cough, I may have to cut off this video because I'm going through something, and I'm going to explain what it is I'm going through. For I've been helping with a business. I've been telling you this for a while, and I've been going through a period. I think God is weaning me off this business because I've been having a lot of conflicts with the person that works with this business. We don't see eye to eye on Christianity, on a lot of things, and because YouTube hasn't been doing much in relations to redeeming the channel, in relations to how I would get paid. I don't have ads on it, which I don't think God wanted me to have ads on it anyway because it's a distraction. That being said, YouTube has decided that they want to put ads on it anyway, even though they're not compensating people for the ads they're putting on. And so if there's ads on here, forgive me, it's not me. And so I think instead of trusting God that he would provide for me, because he has, I stayed and helped with the business. Now, part of the business is to recycle things. So there's certain things that are come in, they're soiled, or they had something else in it, like either chocolate or food, some kind of food or items in it. You just wash it so that it can be either crushed or sold. Okay? And a lot of this happens outside. But what I've learned through my walk is that being outside in the cold doesn't necessarily make you sick. It's our state of mind that makes us sick. Okay? What I discovered through my walk is that stress, and you can Google this, stress lowers your pH balance. There's a certain pH balance of our body that viruses cannot survive in. All right. Sugar changes that pH. And some people invest in alkaline water just for the same reason. And when God was taking me through this journey of discovery, I Googled the stress and how it impacts the pH of the body. And supposedly it doesn't take a lot for stress to impact the pH of the body. Now, that took me back to this business and how many times I've had a disagreement with the person I help with this business, like about stupid things. And God's kind of checking me in regards to my patience, but not only that, being patient with people that don't see things. Sorry. Being patient with those who don't see things my way. And I wanted to explain this cough before I had a fit. But obviously the fit has come before that. I'm going to try to let it pass. And then explain how this happened. Because I haven't been sick in years. And how this is related to Maleficent. I am so sorry. Okay. In Maleficent, the little clips I've watched, she is a fairy. Fairies and witches, good or bad, white witch, black witch, whatever, are all demonic. And so are mermaids. They all are. That being said, they always portray them to be these sweet creatures. So Maleficent was portrayed as being this initially this monster, but and then later on this sweet fairy. That and then explanations to why she was so angry. The point is, during the movie, she was raising this young girl. She kind of, not kidnapped, but she kind of inherited. And she was able to do some things to and for this young lady with just magic. Okay? Like just speaking a thing or speaking curses over her or using her hand to, she was falling off a cliff and using her hand or her eyes, just her thoughts, just to move things to protect her and provide for her. And then I thought to myself, people go to these movies and they watch these movies and they think, oh, how cool is this? And not thinking about where these ideas come from. Sorry. Where are these ideas of waving your hand and making things happen, thinking a thing and making it happen, or speaking a thing and causing curses? I'm so sorry. I just want to get this out. I will come out again when I'm better. But I wanted you to see how sick this I've gotten. Now I want to tell you how this happened. Keep in mind about Maleficent and how she makes if you haven't seen it, how she conjures up things with just her thoughts, her hands, with a poof of her hand or whatever else, okay? During my walk, I've been surrounded by people who practice magic. Many of them have come into my life professing to be Christian, okay? And then I discovered through this time that through the West Indies, witchcraft or obia is a thing. Like, it's just how people live. It's like what they do. They talk a lot about ghosts, about duppies, all kinds of stuff. Duppies are ghosts or demons. And they just, even though they're Christian, and I mean devout, like, praise and worship, Holy Ghost filled Christians, they conjure up demons and they do magic. And I don't understand. I'm so confused by it. That being said, this last past week, I was helping with the washing of these containers outside. And I've done this many times in the cold. We've done this. I have been helping with this business for a little while now, a few years. And I've done it in the cold. Never gotten sick. Never. But this last time, I was washing the drums, and a police car left the premises where I was washing the drums. It's like a public place. And I was thinking to myself, why are the police here? Usually when something's about to happen, the police come to where I'm at, and they leave. Like, they usually come first, like almost to say this is where she is, and then they leave. And then I thought to myself, they're probably getting their car washed. And I realized later on that police don't wash their own cars. Their cars are maintained for them. So I'm thinking, like, what is going on? So at this particular place, it's a car wash. I went to change out the money for coin. And I noticed a car beside the booth that I was in. And the person in the booth, they could be getting themselves organized, taking their mats out. God knows what they were doing, what the person was doing, but he was in there, right? So I noticed the car, I noticed the markings in the car, and I went back to finish doing what I was doing, or continue to work on what I was doing. While I was doing what I was doing, I started to feel my throat was feeling very raw, right? Like almost like I was getting sick. And it was weird because it's been colder than that before. And sometimes I even like wash the containers we wash or clean without my coat. Like sometimes I feel like I'm working so hard I can do it in the wintertime. I was born in Canada, I can handle it. But for whatever reason, this time I was feeling my throat was getting very raw. And I left to maybe about an hour later to get more change. And the gentleman that was in the booth was still in the booth next to me. Now, the reason why that's weird is because I wasn't washing cars. The person who owns this wash allows us to wash the containers that we wash, because sometimes it's messy. We don't want to do it indoors. These people, they wash their cars. Usually takes about 3 to 6 minutes, and then they're gone. But this guy was there for an hour, and he didn't even wash. There was no water running in his thing. The third time I went back to get change, he was still in there. Then I realized this is what happened. This was what's going on. That the rawness of my throat was something conjured up. And you may not believe me. You don't have to. This is my perspective. This is what I believe. Now, when I came out the third time and I noticed he was still there, he waved to me, like to say hi. He's supposed to be washing a car. He hadn't been running any water. And then when I came back from getting the coin, he put money in the meter. He must have realized that I was wondering what the heck he was doing. Okay, so this is the shampoo story. The thing about the shampoo, this is how is connected to that. Now, every time this gentleman washed the shampoo out of his hair, the guy would put more, right? So he's thinking the shampoo is got all these suds, when really the guy was just putting more shampoo over and over again. Okay, so in his mind, he's thinking The shampoo is miraculous. It's got this super duper sudsing action. And he was so frustrated that he threw the bottle on the floor. He looked at the label. He could barely even see the label because there was so much soap in his eyes. So in regards to this, my sickness. So when I left there, I left and stopped. I said I had to get something hot to drink. So I got something hot to drink to try and, like, soothe the throat, try and kill whatever was, causing the infection. Mind you, I eat very healthy. I eat ginger, garlic, turmeric. I mean, like, my daughters always joke and say all I eat is grass and seeds. Because my pH is pretty good. I'm not going to say I eat perfectly. Sometimes I have like a coffee and have a little bit of sweets in it. But I do eat pretty healthy. So that's partly why I don't get sick as much as other people might. Or if I do get sick, it just comes and goes. But this particular time, it seemed to be when I was around people that knew me. So when I was out and excuse me, away from the wash, I started to feel better. I'm like, see, I knew. All I had to do is get something hot to drink and I'll be fine. Sometimes I'll use a Vicks inhaler or whatever else, and it usually just goes away. Oil of oregano, that kind of thing. Well, I went, usually with people who go through what I go through, when you frequent, like you sleep at a certain place, like if you I have my mom's, I sleep at my mom's. When there's somewhere else, sometimes I'll sleep depending on what the business day looks like. Usually agents are sent to be there, to monitor what you do, to conjure up whatever they might be trying to conjure up, depending on the plan, the coven's plan. So this particular plan seems to be to make me sick to the point of having to go to the doctors. And I don't know if any of you know my journey. I will not go to a doctor or a hospital. They'd have to drag me there. And that wouldn't be through consent. So that night I went to sleep. I don't even remember where I slept that night. All I know is I coughed profusely. I barely got any sleep. Whatever is happening is projected. And it happens like a lot of times when I'm sleeping. I could be out in the community, no coughing, no nothing. And my sinuses are draining. I'm able to cough up phlegm. And then I go to like where it should be a sanctuary, a safe place to sleep. And I'm finding that the coughing is intensified. I can't breathe through my nose. I can't cough up phlegm. And then I get up, I shower, I clear my nose, I brush my teeth, everything. I'll leave, and right away as I leave the home or the situation, these symptoms subside. So I realized that, first of all, I already know there's people in my life that practice witchcraft. I've talked about this before. But what I believe is that when you are a monitored person, they assign people to different places where you go. It's never the same people usually. It's usually different people, but they know where you frequent. Like if you go to a certain Tim Hortons, you go to a certain McDonald's, you go to a certain fast food place, you go to a certain place to buy clothes, you go to a certain place to buy your groceries, they know where you go. So every time I went to a close confined place to shop or to get something or to sleep, the symptoms got ridiculous. Now what I find is that if I'm alone by myself long enough, the symptoms will go away. But as long as the symptoms, they keep on projecting whatever it is they project, these symptoms intensifies and it takes a while for your body to get healthy again. Okay, so I don't know if hopefully that made sense to you. It took a lot of years for me to put this all together. I just had a text dialogue with someone that I know. It seems like everyone in my life has some association with the medical field. Because I was in nursing, so I know when I was in nursing, everyone applauded. They were so happy for me because the money's great and you're helping people, blah, blah, blah. Well, the time when I was in nursing, I discovered it may not just be helping people, right? The Lord said He'll provide all our needs according to His riches and glory. And people seem to, especially people in the church, seem to believe the common sense thing is that God has given us knowledge. And that the knowledge allows us to make medicine that makes us well. But anyone knows what medicine does. Medicine is not designed to make us well. Medicine is designed to make us feel good. There's no way. And if the body heals itself, praise the Lord. But most of the time when you're put on this medicine to help you be cured of something, they're usually on a medicine that you maintain that health or the illusion of health. So I had to share this while it was fresh in my mind. I'm going to have to start writing these things down because the Lord is revealing a lot of things to me right now. We are led to believe certain things, and I think we need to really research these things first. This is my perspective, and I have to say this because YouTube has a tendency to go off on people who speak their mind. Now, that being said, the new president has made it very known that he's aware that people are not free to speak their mind, and he's going to change that. That also being said, as much as I love that and other things he's doing, the way he's conducting things is very scary. He takes a lot of the decision making out of the hands of the populace. It never really was in the populace's hands anyway, but he sounds like he's really much like telling us as a parent or a principal of a school what is healthy and good for us, which is concerning because I think as grown people we know what's good for us. You know, we're the ones living in the community. We don't live in a Trump tower, looking above everybody else. Our perspective on life is through the front lines. We know what's going on. Anyway, I apologize